Lời đầu tiên xin chào các độc giả đã đến với website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com. Khi tìm đến với website rèn luyện kỹ năng, chắc hẳn bạn đang mong muốn tìm cho mình một công cụ tốt nhất trong quá trình rèn luyện kỹ năng. Kỹ năng ở đây có thể là kỹ năng lãnh đạo, kỹ năng bán hàng, kỹ năng mềm, kỹ năng sống và rất nhiều các kỹ năng khác. Thông thường khi nghĩ đến việc rèn luyện các kỹ năng như chúng tôi đã đề cập ở trên, chúng ta thường hay nghĩ đến việc tìm mua cái đầu sách hoặc tham gia các chương trình hội thảo. Nhưng trong cuộc sống bận rộn của thế kỷ 21, thời gian và tiền bạc là hai thứ luôn bị giới hạn nhiều nhất. Với sự ra đời của website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com, chúng tôi mang đến cho bạn một công cụ tốt hơn trong việc rèn luyện kỹ năng của mình, đó chính là các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng. Bạn sẽ không còn phải tốn quá nhiều thời gian để đọc sách hay tốn quá nhiều tài chính để tham gia các chương trình hội thảo. Chỉ cần bỏ DVD vào đầu máy, ngay lập tức bạn đã có thể tận hưởng những thước phim quý giá được chia sẻ từ các diễn giả nổi tiếng tại Việt Nam và trên thế giới. Website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com cung cấp đầy đủ cho bạn các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng trên nhiều lĩnh vực. Tất cả các DVD rèn luyện kỹ năng của các diễn giả nước ngoài có tại website rèn luyện kỹ năng.com đều có phụ đề 100%, hỗ trợ tối đa cho quý độc giả khi theo dõi. Rèn luyện kỹ năng.com cam kết chất lượng tất cả các DVD khi cung cấp cho quý khách hàng. Với hân hạnh được phục vụ cho rất nhiều các khách hàng trên cả nước. Chỉ cần click đặt hàng, trong vòng 1 đến 3 ngày, bạn đã có thể cầm sản phẩm trong tay. Rèn luyện kỹ năng hân hạnh được phục vụ quý khách.
Dr. Sheila Murray Bethel.
3 questions. Am I a value-added person? Was this a value-added transaction? Are we a value-added organization? New, different, better, fast, and more. It's the only way you can do it to increase that added value, that customer service. Now, when we want to focus on our priorities, we want to produce excellent results. So we have to figure out what it is we're doing, how well we do it, what needs improvement, how can we get better, what processes can we use, what procedures, what attitudes, what aptitudes, what philosophies. We're forgetting that one of the nicest things that Jules can say to me is, "Thanks, Sheila," or something. "You're welcome." And you know, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It just can be a hand on the shoulder. "Hey, Reggie, I'm really proud you're with us in this store. You made that customer feel really good. Even if you didn't sell the bed right at that time. Hey, they may be back. But what you did, we're going to get referrals because you were really good today." It is called the ability to build partnerships, networks, and alliances. That is the thing that will make you individually and collectively successful in this 21st century.
One of America's finest business speakers. One of America's sharpest business minds. Dr. Sheila Murray Bethel. Business savvy, people smart. With a PhD in communications, she has authored 4 books, including the national bestseller, Making a Difference, 12 Qualities That Make You a Leader. Inducted into the Speakers Hall of Fame and named one of the 21 top speakers for the 21st century by Successful Meetings magazine, Dr. Bethel is an expert on leadership, customer focus, and communication skills.
Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be with you. They're going to turn the house lights up so I can see you, and I know you can see me. I'm glad to see so many people on a beautiful afternoon. Thank you for coming. And you're still wide awake and ready to go. You obviously don't have the problem that the mother had when she went in to wake up her daughter to go to school. She says, "Come on, sweetheart, time to get up and go to school." The daughter says, "But I don't want to go." And the mother says, "Get up, you're going to be late." And the daughter says, "Give me 2 reasons why." And the mother said, "For heaven's sakes, you're 46 years old and you're the principal." So in our short time that we have together today, I'd like to share with you some ideas that I have learned around the world, working with leaders in all walks of life, things I've experienced in my own life, trying to lead organizations. And there are some principles, some ideas to share. And I, too, would like to start out by congratulating the new recipients. In our profession of speaking and training, we have an important designation that we work very hard at. And I know that you folks that have done this have put in many, many hours. And as Marcia said, the spouses and helpers also deserve the acknowledgement. So I'm delighted and honored to be here in this particular part of your program. Today, in the world in which we live, when we look at leadership, you know, we lead at home, we lead in the community, we lead at work. Leadership is not just for the highest educated, the people with the highest title, the richest or the most famous. It is for everyone. Everyone can make a difference through their leadership. And that's the good news about it. It's a very exciting thing to do, to say, by gosh, I'm going to pick up the mantle of leadership and give it a try. I'd like to give you the 3 drivers, the leadership drivers for the 21st century that I have seen as I travel around the world. And if you happen to be note takers and have a piece of paper and want to take some notes, let me give you some ideas to take back and to share with those who are not here. Driver number 1, of course, we all know it. We live with it every single day. Driver number 1 is called change. We live in an era of incredible change, unprecedented change. We have never, ever, as a society and as a world, gone through so much change as those of us that are here today have recently. You know, if you think about it, you and I together, we have gone through more change in this last year than our parents did in 10 years. What an incredible time to be alive. How many know and feel that you've gone through business change in the last year? Raise your hand. Silly question, isn't it? How about 6 months? 2 months? 2 weeks? 20 minutes? Have you called? Is the office still there? Change, we live with it every day. We know there's change in business. But there's also been change in our personal lives. You know, we had a national census here in the United States recently, and I saw a little clipping in the newspaper that talked about it. It said, in the most recent national census, it counted 1 million more women than men who are separated from their spouses. And it went on to say, well, that's either a mistake or there are about 1 million men who haven't yet noticed that their wives have left. I don't want to touch that. I don't know what that means about the men or the women. I just know that we have gone through so much change. I do want to give you a good piece of news about change, though, because I know it might be appropriate for a good news statement. You know what? The world is changing so fast, ladies and gentlemen, you can't even stay wrong for too long anymore. Just hang in, you'll probably be right next month. It is changing that fast. Driver number 1, it is pushing us, it is pulling us. Change every time we turn around. No wonder we sometimes feel a little overwhelmed by it. It's okay. We're all in the same boat. Change is a hard thing to handle, but it is the number 1 driver, and the leader leading at home, in the community, at work, has to understand how hard it is for people to change. Be a little patient, a little kind, cut people a little slack, and as the teenagers say, chill out. Relax a little more. Driver number 2, Marcia mentioned it, and I want to share it with you. You already know it. It is called the ability to build partnerships, networks, and alliances. That is the thing that will make you individually and collectively successful in this 21st century. Why? Because there's not enough time anymore to learn everything we have to know on our own. We have to be able to call somebody across the office, across town, across the city, across the state, across the country, around the world, and say, hey, I've got this issue. Can you give me a hand? Can you help? We want to network, and we want to build those powerful alliances. 3rd driver, change is 1st. Networking, partnership, and alliances is 2. And 3 is understanding the difference between customer service and customer focus. And I'm going to talk more about that as I go on. But those are the 3 drivers, and that's what a leader has to be aware of. Watch the trends. Watch what happens. Keep your antenna out. Keep your ears open. Keep a pad and pencil near you at all times so you can stay on top of it and capture those ideas that help you be a more effective leader. And when it comes to leadership, the number 1 word, Marcia also mentioned that. I was so glad she said it, because the main word to start with today is the word called commitment. Commitment's the key. It helps us in the tough times. It makes it easier in the good times. Commitment is the glue that holds it all together. It's the fire in the belly. To be a leader who makes a difference, commitment is what it takes. You know the old story about the chicken and the pig walking down the country road early in the morning, time to have something to eat. And they pass an old-fashioned eatery, and the sign says breakfast, bacon and eggs, $1.79. And the chicken gets all puffed up and says, well, would you look at that? What would breakfast be without my contribution? The pig said, it's okay for you, it's a contribution. For me, it's total commitment. That's a good one to bring into the 21st century, because I do believe that in this age,